She came home to a busted-in door and electronics missing. Fearing the bad guy was still in the house, she ran to her car and called police. Dispatchers told her to wait outside, that detectives would be there soon. But that didn't happen. In fact, it took 4 hours for the cops to show up. New at 6, 24-hour News 8's Ken Kolker took her concerns back to police.
Yeah, Brian, Grand Rapids police today acknowledged the 4-hour response time, calling it unacceptable. They said they were investigating to find out why it happened. The victim says she also wants some answers.
It really concerns me as a Grand Rapids citizen that I should be able to call 911 once and have a response time, let alone not have to call 3 or 4 times and get the same kind of spiel, like we'll get there when we get there kind of thing.
Alicia Davis says she spent the weekend with relatives, got home about 5:30 Sunday afternoon.
The door was pushed completely wide open.
Kicked in, it appears, the door frame splintered.
I saw the TV and the laptop were gone, and I went back out to the car and immediately called 911 at that point.
It was a big TV, 55-inch flat screen. It wasn't until later, much later, that she learned they also had taken her camera, lockbox, and a pistol.
I wasn't coming in without a police officer or someone else that was armed with me to see if the house was clear.
So she waited and waited.
She said that somebody should be out here soon. I called her back another half hour later. They weren't here yet. And by the time I called her again, I think it had been about an hour and a half.
In the meantime, she called her parents, who drove up from Union City, about 90 miles away. They got there in 2 hours. Still, no police. So, your parents had a quicker response time than Grand Rapids police?
Yes, unfortunately last night they did.
I expected them to be here, check things out, make sure nobody was still here, make sure what was gone or not gone.
Her dad says he called police. His phone shows it was 9/11 last night when he made that call.
And I said, well, I've got my pistol. I said, I'm licensed. I said, I'm perfectly ready to go in the house and check it out myself.
20 minutes later, he said police finally showed up. Her dad says he texted a friend a few minutes after that.
Finally, only 4 hours and 5 minutes, woohoo. That was at 9:38.
Today, his daughter signed up for home security.
Get the security system in, get my gun, and between the gun, the dog, and the security system, hopefully we'll be good.
Now, today we spoke with a police captain who said there was some confusion initially over whether the homeowner had gone through that house to make sure the burglars were gone. Either way, he said there was no excuse for a 4-hour response time. He said the city is trying to figure out how it happened and plans to apologize to the victim.
Ken, it begs the question, what is the usual response time? What's the average?
Well, we found a study, and it showed that back in August of 2012, when the study was published, it said the average was about 17 minutes in the city, and that's for the average call. Now, if it's a high priority call, like an officer in trouble or like a crime in progress, it's about 10 minutes.
Sure. All right. Thanks for digging on that, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.